Hello, I'm Martha Hess, a member of the class of 1967. For the last several months, I've been sharing stories about the history of Anderson Hall. Today, we're going to talk about the Study Abroad program. Currently, students may choose from programs in 55 countries and 155 universities. Over the last 5 years, more than 25% of the students in each graduating class have had an experience abroad. But how did it all begin? During the first century of the college's history, most students went abroad after graduation to serve as missionaries or educators in foreign countries. Indeed, the first student to enroll in the Southern and Western Theological Seminary, Eli Sawtelle, spent most of his professional life during the 19th century as a chaplain to sailors along the coast of France. In 1934, Dr. Samuel Tyndale Wilson wrote an article for the Maryville College Bulletin entitled, "Our Foreign Legion." In this article, he lists nearly 150 former students who were serving or had served in countries abroad. A few of these missionaries returned to the college to teach or to serve in administrative offices. For example, Dr. Wilson himself, Miss Margaret Henry, and Miss Mary Miles. But by the mid-20th century, students were looking for opportunities to go abroad during their 4 years at Maryville College. For example, from a class of 1967, Carol Pusey participated in the program Crossroads to Africa during the summer of 1966, and Lois Huffine spent her junior year in Germany. But it was the curriculum and calendar change of 1967 that enabled the Study Abroad program to grow significantly. The new calendar provided for a mini-term, an interim term, that fell between Thanksgiving and the winter holiday. Students and faculty were encouraged to engage in experiential education, which included study tours of this country and study tours abroad. The first study tour abroad was held in the fall of 1968. It was a tour to the countries of the Holy Land and was led by Margaret Cummings, a legend of Anderson Hall, and her colleague, Dr. Donald Stein, professor of religion. Mrs. Cummings had always encouraged her students to study abroad during her 29-year career at Maryville College, teaching Bible and Christian education. From this first study tour, this small beginning, hundreds of students and many faculty members have traveled to countries throughout the world. Now let's listen as Dr. Bryan Pennington, professor of religion and chair of the Division of Humanities, tells us a story from a study tour to India that he led in 2010.
Hi, I'm Bryan Pennington, and I've been at Maryville College since 1998. I'm a member of the religion faculty here, and I teach primarily courses about India, and in particular the religions of India. Hinduism is my academic specialty. One of the moments I think that really has crystallized for me what study abroad means at Maryville is a moment that comes from a trip I took only recently in 2010 with a group of students who have given us this picture here of us on the beach in South India in 2010. In 2010, we had the opportunity to take 13 Maryville College students to the southern states of South India named Tamil Nadu and Kerala. These are the two states that are at the very southern tip of India. They're states with different languages and somewhat different cultures, but together they really capture some of what is distinctive about South India. Later on in the trip, as we were circling back from the west coast of India, we had our group of students who now, 2 full couple weeks into India, had really bonded and cohered as a group, we had them stop in the agricultural village of our good friend Sunil for a couple of days. And on the trip, we had a sort of aspiring young rock musician who has some local renown these days. His name is Daniel Monroe. He's a 2011 alumnus of Maryville College. And we had convinced Daniel to bring his guitar with him, and we thought that the guitar would be perhaps a bit of a hassle to lug around, but we would assist him, and we thought it would just be a really good community building instrument to have. The first morning that we were in Sunil's village, having slept on the floor, having some students having slept in storage rooms where grain was stored, having wandered around the village and seen what this quiet agricultural way of life was really like, Daniel pulled his guitar out and he sat in the middle of a village family's compound. It was the mother and father of our friend Sunil. And Daniel, very unselfconsciously, began to play his guitar and to sing songs that were part of his repertoire. Songs by, old classic groups like the Beatles, songs by contemporary artists like Radiohead. And as Daniel played in this courtyard, people in the village began to gather around. And within a half hour or so, there was a cohort of Indian villagers and American students who were sitting around singing to the degree that they knew the songs and clapping. And next to Daniel was a little old granny, my friend Sunil's aunt, who was smiling and beaming like I had never seen her smile and beam. And it was a moment in which I think the students who were there really felt like they had come to know India in some significant way. And we returned from that trip with really wonderful memories, but more importantly, I think we returned from that trip with students feeling transformed by the opportunity to be abroad with these people who are now their friends and both faculty and student friends now, but also to have been in a place where they were really made to feel at home and really came to know a people and a culture that before this point in time was really unknown to them.